News 4 continues with Marianne Mishima and Family Healthbeat.
In Family Healthbeat tonight, the Senate says no to immigrants with AIDS. President Clinton fought to overturn the policy that currently bars those infected with the AIDS virus from entering the U.S. But yesterday, the Senate upheld the ban and voted 76-23 to amend the policy into law. The proposed amendment would allow people with the AIDS virus to enter the U.S. for reasons such as vaccinations or treatment, but they would not be allowed to stay in the country. An experiment that kills the AIDS virus is being looked at with cautious optimism. Researchers have been combining the drugs currently used to combat AIDS, AZT and DDI, plus a new drug, PYR. Mixed together, the virus has been killed in test tubes. Now, in the past, the virus's ability to mutate has puzzled scientists, but a doctor says the combination of these three drugs actually works because the virus mutates.
You ultimately give the virus the choice. Either you don't mutate and you're going to get killed by me because you're going to be sensitive, me being the antiviral, or you mutate to avoid all three of us and you've now mutated yourself out of business.
The experiments have not been tested on humans yet, and researchers warn people against experimenting on themselves. Combining the three drugs can produce deadly side effects if not done properly. Relief from AIDS needs to be a priority in Spokane County. That from area health officials who released a 2-year study on the epidemic here. Spokane's AIDS Task Force presented Mayor Sherry Barnard with their findings. Officials say AIDS have spread from its first case in the county in 1984 to 115 confirmed AIDS cases in November. Even more alarming are 351 known HIV infections and predictions of 3,000 more unreported cases. Task Force members say many of the unknown cases involve women, people of color, and other youth.
We can't look to the mayor's office. It's everybody's problem. And we've got to do all we can through churches.
Don't drink, don't smoke, and watch that diet. If you're tired of being lectured on how to live longer, well, maybe it's time you actually see what could happen if you don't. A new museum exhibit features holograms that give a three-dimensional look into the development of atherosclerosis, or hardening of the arteries.
I think people have heard about the dangers of high cholesterol, risk factors like smoking, but until you can actually visualize it, it's very difficult to really absorb it and understand it. So I think the holograms give you a visual opportunity to actually see the devastating effect atherosclerosis has in the body.
The holograms are on display at the Liberty Science Center in New Jersey, sponsored by the American Heart Association. Blood pressure screening and tips on heart-healthy cooking techniques are all part of the exhibit, which, by the way, opened on Valentine's Day weekend. You know, that reality technique has been used like for drunk driving, against drunk driving, or smoking. So seems like it'll work on heart disease as well. A little bit of that shocking reality wakes people up.
You know, I think our speaker out here in the studio needs to see a doctor as well.
Yeah, really.
We've been having some problems with the
needs
speaker
a little
here.
repair.
It needs a little repair, so we'll get the speaker doctor in here soon.
Trying to break our eardrums. Thanks, Marianne.
Thank you, Marianne.
Well, ahead, the U.S. Alpine Skiing Championship and World Championship Wrestling. Bob Namick will bring it to us.
And then coming up in about 12 minutes, Under the Dome. Legislators are tackling one of the toughest issues this year, health care. Reporter Mark Wright shows us how local lawmakers are trying to make it available to everyone. Stay with us.